Can I defeat the EnderDragon without ever directly attacking it? Today, I intend to find out. So that means no swords or axes, no bows, not even TNT or beds. So how do I plan to do this? Thorns. So I guess, technically, I won't be defeating the EnderDragon. It will be defeating itself. But before I get into any of that, I need to do some prep work. I'm currently standing in a construction zone. This is the future site of the Soul Valley Defense Tower. If you've watched previous videos of mine, you may know that instead of creating a cramped villager trading hall, I like to give important villagers their own unique spaces to live and roam. And since this was the previous location of a pillager outpost, I thought that it would be the perfect location for a defense tower that will house librarian villagers who trade important enchanted books related to combat and defense. And don't worry, I made sure to cover the surrounding area with bottom slabs so that pillagers can't spawn here. Now, typically, I would build the structure first and then move the villagers in. But since this is going to be a large and tall build, well, frankly, without shulker boxes and elytra, it would be really tedious to build, so I'm making an exception to my rule. Between episodes, I spent a lot of time trading with villagers, and in particular, these 6 librarian here, I've locked in some valuable enchanted book trades that will help me prepare to battle the EnderDragon, even though I haven't built their official home just quite yet. However, in an effort to remain somewhat in line with my self-imposed rule, I did build them this nice little construction site with this temporary construction trailer to give them a cozy bed to sleep in and some space to move around during the construction of their future home. So I thought this was a fun build to put together, quick and easy, but still fun. And you may be curious how this trailer ended up at the top of this mountain when there are no roads leading up here. Well, don't worry about that. We're not going to think about that just quite yet. For now, all that matters is that these 6 villagers have a cozy trailer with beds to sleep in and space to move around. And you may have noticed that I've got copper golems running around, and I used shelves in the building of this trailer. So you know what that means. I have finally entered the Copper Age and updated to version 1.21.10. And I thought this was a fun touch also to add these gray banners to the bottom row of the shelves along the trailer here. I thought that looked nice. But now, let's talk about these villagers. So before I run around and introduce each of these villagers and show you what they have to trade, I have named each of these villagers after some of my favorite forms of media such as TV, music, books, etc. So as I run around and introduce them, try and see which names you recognize and let me know in the comments. And no using Google. If you use Google to figure out their names, I'll know. So let's get started. First, we have Taco, spelled with 2 A's and a K. And this one is a little bit more of a niche reference, so if you get this one, good job. And Taco sells infinity books. And then next we have Cousin Eddie, who might be a more recognizable name to many. And Cousin Eddie sells Looting 3. And over here, we have got Casimir Pulaski, who, of all of the names I chose, this is probably the most niche reference, so I will give a hint for this one. This is referencing a song from one of my favorite albums of all time, so if you can guess this without using Google, I'll be impressed. And Casimir Pulaski sells Feather Falling 4. Then here we've got Zaphod Beeblebrox, who sells Thorns 3. We've got Relof, who sells Sharpness 5. And then over here, trying to run away from us, we have got Michael Scarn, who sells Protection 4. And in this chest over here, I've got all of my enchanted books already combined together. So I've got 3 books that have Protection 4, Thorns 3, and Unbreaking for my armor. And then this book is pretty much the same, except it's also got Feather Falling 4 for my boots. We have got Sharpness 5, Looting 3, and Unbreaking 3 to add to my sword. And then we've got Unbreaking 3 and Infinity to add to my bow. And you may notice that I'm currently only at level 7, so I am going to have to do some XP grinding to get enough XP to be able to add these enchantments to my equipment. And I know I mentioned I'm not going to be using any weapons against the dragon, so you may be wondering why I've got the Sharpness 5, Looting 3, and that's just for me to be able to easily get ender pearls, blaze rods, and gunpowder to make it easier to get to the end, and so that I could have rockets for when I get elytra. So with all of that being said, it's time for me to go grind some XP, add these enchantments to my equipment, and then go gather resources. And a short time later, I am here in the Nether. Let's take a look at what's in this chest. So I got lots of ender pearls, crafted them up into Eye of Ender so that I can make my way to the end fortress and the end portal. I got extra ender pearls and blaze rods in case I need them. And I got some fireworks, that way when I get to the end and get elytra, I'll be able to move around. The other thing that I need is netherite. So, from a previous bastion, I was able to get 2 ancient debris and 1 netherite scrap, which is not going to be enough, so I brought plenty of potions of fire resistance that I crafted up, and it's time to get some netherite. For now, I'm only going to put it on my armor. I'm not going to go with the tools just yet, just because since I am going to be fighting the dragon purely defensively, only utilizing my armor with thorns, I need to make sure it is as durable as possible, and netherite is the way to do that. I am currently Y level 80, roughly. I need to get down to Y level 15. I've been wanting to build a staircase down to the bottom for a while now, so actually what I think I'm gonna do, I'm gonna drink this potion of fire resistance and jump down into the lava below. That way I can build a staircase back up here for future ease to get down to the bottom when I need to. And a short time later, I have my bridge across the lava, and then here I've got my staircase that goes all the way up and goes up into the island where my base is located above. This is not spawn proof, so I do still have to watch out for these guys, but I have fire protection currently active from Potion of Fire Resistance, and I can now come over here and start digging my way down to Y level 15 so that I can start mining for netherite. And I know there are a lot of different ways that people like to mine for netherite, but my favorite style is to just use a trapdoor to do that trick where I open it, do this, and then if I go to free cam, you'll see that I'm currently in a swim mode here, and that allows me to just mine a block one wide. So I'm going to get down to Y level 15, and then it's time to start digging for some netherite. We are back, and I am in front of the super smelter that I built in my last episode. I've got 15 ancient debris plus the netherite scrap that I had already previously found. So that is going to be enough to get me what I need to upgrade all of my armor here. I just need to smelt the ancient debris into netherite scrap. So let's toss this into my super smelter here. There it goes. And then we will come over here and wait for my netherite scrap. And there we go. And I am now in my storage room, which it's about time for me to upgrade this storage room. That may be an upcoming project of mine. This place is very unorganized, very cramped and crowded. It's just kind of the basement of my house, and it's not a great storage room, so I think this might be a project that I tackle soon. Not today, but sometime soon. So I need to craft up these. I've now got my 4 netherite ingots, and where are my diamonds? Let's see. Alright, and a smithing table. And let's pop that right there. We need to duplicate that, and let's do it one more time. So now I've got my 5 netherite upgrades. We'll start with the helmet. Boom. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Look at that. Cover me in debris. Full suit of netherite armor. And let's hop into third-person view while I put this on for the first time. I've now got Protection 4, Thorns 3, Unbreaking 3, and Mending on my netherite armor, as well as Feather Falling 4 on my boots. So now, let me clear up my inventory a little bit and get out my Eyes of Ender. It is finally time to go to the Stronghold and make our way to the end. Well, I used the flashback mod to record the footage of me running from my base to the Stronghold, but unfortunately that footage got corrupted, so just use this time to imagine me running 600 blocks through the woods, and then I reach the ocean and hop in a boat and travel about 1,000 blocks by boat, and then once the Ender Pearl starts going downward, I hop into the ocean and start digging down. I'm standing at the bottom of a tunnel that I just dug all the way to bedrock. I was in my boat, I threw an Eye of Ender, it went down, so I assumed a stronghold was here, went all the way down to bedrock, and did not see a stronghold, so I guess I will go back to the surface and try again. So the tunnel that I just dug is directly below me. I'm just going to throw another Eye of Ender and see where it goes. That way. Okay, maybe I was just a few blocks off. Oh, and I just hit bricks, so it looks like I am on target. There we go. Beautiful. All right, my very first stronghold in this world. Little loot chest here. Ooh, eye armor trim. Always excited about some armor trim. All right, well that did not take me long at all. Right around the corner here is... Hey, you stop that. Oh no! That's not what I want. And what luck. Only one has been filled, so I'm going to need to make a bunch. Luckily, I brought my ender chest, which contains plenty more ender pearls and blaze powder. Well, blaze rods. Alright, time to fill them in. Oh no, I just threw 2 of them. And there we go. Alright, so before I jump in, I do want to build a portal that goes back to my home. That way I can quickly get here from my home without having to go this whole distance in the overworld. And, lucky for me, I brought obsidian and flint and steel because I was thinking ahead. Oh. And boom. Alright, so I am going to go... Whoop, didn't mean to do that. I'm going to go through my end portal. I'm going to make sure that I have a clear path back home to my base. I'm going... Oh, you son of a gun. They just keep coming. I'm going to head back to my base, make sure that there's a clear path from the end back to my base. Going to get all the supplies that I'm going to need and then make my way back here. Well, this is a precarious place to be. Alright, and time to find my way back to my base. I just finished going back to my base and making sure that I am all resupplied and ready for the end. And we got pretty lucky. This hole in the ground right here goes straight down to the portal that takes me to the end portal. Right there is my portal that goes to the Prismarine Ocean Monument. And if I hop into free cam, right over there is my base that goes back to my home portal. So I'm going to head down this pit right here, go through the portal, and we are about ready to head to the end. And before we go, let's talk about what I brought with me in preparation for the end. Oh my god, and these silverfish just won't stop. I don't like to destroy spawners, even if it's a silverfish spawner, but These guys are driving me absolutely nuts. Look at all of the holes that they have created all over the place. They are just absolutely wrecking this place. But anyway, for supplies, so I brought lots of splash potions of healing. Since I'm going to be relying strictly on my armor and the Thorns enchantment, I'm going to be taking a lot of damage, so I'm going to need ways to heal. And then I also brought my shield. I don't think I'm going to use it. Brought some spare arrows and some spare ender pearls in case I need to teleport around. And then I brought some fireworks for if I hopefully get elytra. Brought some deep slate so that I could build bridges or platforms if I need to. Brought some wood just in case I need to make wood stuff. Brought 2 water buckets so that I can make an infinite water source when I get there. My bow has infinity just so that I can break all the end crystals. And then my sword I'm bringing with me just in case I need to fight off any endermen, in case I accidentally make eye contact. But before I jump in to this portal, there's one other twist that I'm adding. Since I am not playing on hardcore, I'm just playing on survival, I thought that there still needs to be something at stake for this trip. If there's nothing at stake, it seems kind of pointless for me to just come up with this gimmick when there's nothing really to risk. So I've added Curse of Vanishing to all of my armor that I spent this entire episode getting. I spent hours and hours trading with the villagers to get the enchantments, and then I spent hours looking for the netherite. This is my first set of netherite armor, and I am risking it in this trip to go fight the dragon. If I die, this armor that I worked so hard for dies with me. So I figure that that kind of makes up for the fact that I'm not in hardcore, still put something at stake for my first EnderDragon battle, and it's just going to make things a little more interesting. But with that being said, I think it's time to jump in this portal. Oh, and I almost forgot my ender chest. That would have been an absolutely devastating blow because there are things in my ender chest that I need when I get there. I am glad I remembered that. But anyway, now I'm jumping in. Alright, and I don't know which way is the dragon. And actually, before anything, from here, I'm going to go ahead and make a little safe space where I can make some chests and put things away. Okay, so I've got my little safe space here. I've got my ender chest, got this chest, I've got an infinite water source, and now let's dig up, and I don't know which way the dragon is, but I'm just going to go this way. Alright, and it's time to begin blowing up end crystals. And I usually like to blow up the ones that are in cages first, and then any that I can easily reach with my bow. Come on. There we go. I'm curious if me stepping in the dragon's breath hurts the dragon. No, it does not. Even with the thorns, that does not affect the dragon. I'm just going to make my way to the top of this one and hope that while I do it, I don't get knocked off, but I should have a water bucket in the next slot over. I didn't really think this through because if I blow this up, the explosion might knock me off. I'm going to bridge out just a little ways. There we go. Let's see if this works. Beautiful. There's that one. And that one. And another one. And I think that's all of them. So I'm going to use my water bucket to get down to the bottom. Alright. And now I just have to wait for you to land so that you can try to damage me and just hurt yourself instead. I think this is going to be the longest part of the battle, is just waiting for the dragon to perch, because it seems pretty content just flying around. Alright, it's finally landing. Here we go. Let's see what happens. Quick health potion over here. Hey, why are you coming for me? I didn't make eye contact with you. Okay, they're gone. And I should eat real quick. Why don't you perch up? Oh, you're perching. You're perching. Whoa! Oh, I didn't even look at you. gonna dig a little tunnel into this obsidian pillar just so I've got somewhere to retreat to if I accidentally make eye contact with an enderman. This is much better. And now I can grab this water back as well. Did you really have to wait until the exact moment that the dragon perched? Come on, perch it up, perch it up. There we go. Okay, that did a nice bit of damage. Oh no, oh no, oh no, this is bad, this is bad. Well, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Oh no, not again, not again, not again. Water bucket, water bucket. Well, I need to work on my water bucket clutching. No, not again. I need to stop jumping as I approach it. I think that's why it keeps launching me, because it's hitting me while I'm mid-jump. So I'm going to clear some space so that I can run up to it without having to jump. Alright, so now no jumping. Oh, can it reach me? Oh yeah, it can reach me. So I think I'm going to build the platform up just one block higher so it can reach me easier. Okay, that worked pretty well. So I think that's going to be my strategy now, is rather than try to run away to heal, I'm just going to stand in place and actively heal myself while it attacks me, because that seemed to do a lot of damage. Alright, the dragon is under half health. I have used a fair share of my splash potions, but I've got more back in my ender chest, so I should be alright there. Oh. Let's get over there. Now, which way is your head gonna face? I think that's when it does the most damage, is if I'm closest to the head. Alright, we've made some good progress, but I am running low on health potions, so I need to find my little hole in the ground, which I think that might be it right there, so I'm gonna head over and get more health potions. Oh, you went to the wrong side, come on. Oh, this might be the one. Hey, I did it! I defeated the EnderDragon with only thorns. And I've still got plenty of splash potions of healing. My armor's still intact. Let me grab some XP to fix my armor. Oh wow, that fixed my armor quick. I have freed the end. Let me get you. Place a torch right there. And there we go. I have entered the end portal. I have freed the end, and I have gotten the next generation with the dragon egg, all without ever attacking the dragon, simply relying on my Thorns III netherite armor. I don't think I will ever do it again, considering most of the time I was just standing there watching the dragon run around waiting for it to perch, which took quite a while. It did not want to perch. It was taking its sweet time, but eventually it worked out. I wouldn't say this was the most difficult challenge, considering all I had to do is spam splash potions and wait around, but it was still fun to do regardless. A unique way to beat the EnderDragon. I'm going to take my Ender chest. Alright, so now it is time to find an End City and get myself some elytra. Alright, and through the portal I go. And there we get remote getaway. Now it's time to wander aimlessly until I find myself an End City. And off in the distance, I see an End City. I don't think that it looks like it has a ship, but we will make our way closer to find out for certain. Sadly, there is no ship on this End City, but I'm still going to run through and get some shulker boxes while I'm here. And there we go, my first ever shulker box. Hey, where'd you shoot me from? Well, this was sadly a very anticlimactic End City. I got a total of 3 shulker shells, and there weren't even any loot chests, so rather unfortunate. And actually, while I'm thinking about it, I should probably put the dragon egg in here so that I don't die and lose it forever. And I'll put those in there. Since I came from that direction, this direction looks a little barren. This direction also looks a little barren. It looks like I'm going to be going this direction. So I'm going to head on down and make my way that way and see if I can find another End City. Do you see what I see? That, my friends, is an End ship. Now I just have to make my way over there. Alright, and here we are. Do we think my Ender Pearl aim is good enough to hit the ship? I honestly don't think it is, but I guess we're about to find out. It was not. Alright, let's try that again. I got pretty close. I didn't die. As long as I don't die, then we're doing okay. I need to aim a little bit higher this time. Okay. That didn't work. I'm just gonna get some endstone, or get some endstone and build my way up there. And here we are. There it is. That sweet, sweet elytra. Hey, where'd you go? I don't want you shooting me. Alright. And there she is. There's my sweet, sweet elytra. Let's see, I don't need those. Pretty good loot in here. I'll take the shelf. Hey, where are you shooting me from? I don't need that. Alright, and then of course I gotta get the dragon head. I can't leave here without getting the dragon head. Oh, I'm gonna put this on while I go get the dragon's head, because I don't want to risk something getting me. There we go. Alright, and here we go. My first ever time taking flight with elytra. And I completely missed the target. Oh well. Okay. Uh-oh, I must have made eye contact. I'm so sorry. Oh god, I'm gonna die here, aren't I? There we go. The elytra saved me. Huh. Well, that's convenient. Oh my god. I forgot how to fly elytra because it's been so long. There we go. Alright, let's go get some more shulker shells. And I'm gonna put my armor back on, just so that I don't get killed by these shulkers, because I have a bad habit of dying to shulkers. There's one. There's two. I can hear them, but I can't see them. Let's go check the chests up there to see if they've got any good loot. Ah, there's that last one. I knew that there was another one somewhere. Okay. And I just realized I turned my Jade mod off for a bit because I needed to do some editing, and I'm going to turn it back on so that it will display their health. Okay, so now we're up to 5 shulker shells, making some progress. And let's see what's in these chests over here. Alright, so this one, just some iron, some boots, a pickaxe, and then in this one, ooh, lots of diamonds, lots of gold. We've got some diamond chest plates, so this guy is going crazy. Alright, my friend. I can't have you doing this. How did you get in here? There we go. Let's go ahead and stash some stuff in my ender chest. So we're up to 10 shulker shells now. I would like to... I'd say my goal is to get 20 shulker shells, that way I could have 10 shulker boxes, and then I'll be ready to head home. Plus I want to get some end rods while I'm here. And do I have good enough aim to just shoot right up the middle here? I do! And then hit and collapse. Alright. There you are. You thought you could hide. Did that kill you? I don't think it did. I think that you got away. Yep, I can still hear you. There you are. You can't just keep running away from me every time I almost kill you. That's not how this works. I think that there's one more somewhere on this ship. I just have to find it, because it is hiding. There you are. I hear another one somewhere. Where are you hiding now? Alright, I need to set flight and see if I can find this last one. Ah, there you are. You're underneath, so I'm gonna have to dig down to get to you. Is there one somewhere in here? Oh, there is. Where'd you come from? Alright, I'm at 18. My goal is 20. $19. I just need one more and I will be ready to head home and be happy with what I have accomplished. Man, it's going to take some getting used to remember how to fly with Elytra. I just keep like accidentally just dropping into free fall. It's been a long time since I've... Oh, just like that. It's been a long time since I've flown with Elytra because I've been playing pretty much only this world for close to a year at this point, and I have not had Elytra in this world up until this point. Sadly, I think I may have gotten all of the shulkers that this end city has to offer, and frankly, I don't feel like going out searching for another end city just yet, considering I've got this portal right here, easily accessible. So I think I've got my dragon egg, I've got 19 shulker shells, I've got the dragon head, I survived with my armor intact. I think I'm going to call this a win, considering I've got this portal right here. I think I'm going to make a little staircase up. And with that, I think this has been a successful trip to the end. I think it's time to head on back home for now. And here we go. Time to head home. Alright, and here I am back in my home base in my bedroom. I'm gonna hop in bed, sleep through the night, and then there's one last thing that I need to do before this episode is over. I am back over at this construction site, and there is something that I meant to do at the beginning of the episode, and it completely slipped my mind. You may have noticed that I left that chest up there untouched, and that is because I wasn't going to open a chest off camera. That wouldn't be fair. What's the point of recording this gameplay if I'm not opening the chest? So, I don't know if there's going to be any good loot in here, but I made sure to save the chest so that I could open it on camera. Let's see what it's got. Literally nothing. Well, I hope you enjoyed the wait. But I think that's going to be it for this one. I had a lot of fun facing the EnderDragon with nothing but the Thorns enchantment. If you enjoyed this episode, maybe consider liking, subscribing, or leaving a comment. And I'm excited to get started with the Soul Valley Defense Tower, so if you want to see that, then keep an eye out for upcoming videos of mine. But with that, I just want to say I appreciate all of you, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye everyone.